Good afternoon and welcome to what will potentially be the last meeting of Assembly Budget Subcommittee on State Administration. Today is May 24. Since we have every member here, let's call roll call.
Nazarian.
Present.
Allen.
Here.
Cooper.
Present.
Mullen. Wilk.
Present.
Great. This promises to be, I expect it to be a brief meeting. I think we're only going to have one hearing from Board of Equalization. So let's start with the vote-only calendar items. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, are we pulling issue 10 from both calendar?
Yes, I'm sorry. I missed that note. We're pulling issue number 10, so issues 1 through 9.
Second.
Thank you.
Nazarian.
Aye.
Allen.
Not voting?
Can I ask a question, Chair? Do you want something else pulled? Yeah, I think we needed to. We actually had a number of polls here.
I think he wants to amend his motion.
I would like to amend the motion to vote action, because I have a couple here that are not going to be vote only. Or actually, we vote only, but I need to.
Mr. Cooper, do you accept?
Yes.
So what's the motion? What's the?
Oh, do you want to do those or us? Can we do two separate vote onlys? Let's do 1, 3, 4, 12, and 13 on one. And then 4.
There's no 12 and 13. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, my numbering's off. I apologize. 1, 3, 4, 8, and 9.
Actually, I'm going to vote for 8, so you want to split that separately?
I guess we need to.
Just do one item
This,
at a time.
you got it.
Can we just do the votes one at a time, Mr. Chair, to make it a little bit easier?
I think we have a very competent staff who knows how to separate the issues.
All right.
So I'll leave it in her capable hands.
So the first motion is voting on items 1, 3, 4, and 9.
Great.
Motion?
Second.
Second.
Nazarian.
Aye.
Allen.
No.
Cooper.
Aye.
Mullen. Wilk.
No.
The second motion is to vote only on item number 8.
So moved.
Second.
Nazarian.
Aye.
Allen.
No.
Cooper.
Aye.
Mullen. Wilk.
Aye.
And then the last motion is to vote on items 2, 5, and 7.
So moved.
Second.
Nazarian.
Aye.
Allen.
Aye.
Cooper.
Aye.
Mullen. Wilk.
Aye.
There we go.
Move to adjourn.
Just for the record, was it 2, 5, and 7 or 2, 5 through 7?
2, 5 through 7.
Okay. Good.
Thanks.
All right, on issue number 10, funding for affordable housing package. This has been an issue that's been extremely important to many of our colleagues. There's been a working group established since the early part of the legislative year in January, February. And this group has met in various intervals to figure out what a comprehensive plan should look like, include, and be funded at. Through the efforts of this group also, we've had meetings that kicked off these conversations. We had a joint hearing between the Housing as well as the Health and Subcommittee on Budget Health and subcommittee on this subcommittee as well, having a hearing in February that discussed the importance of these issues, and we had speakers from the Bay Area and Los Angeles areas to talk about the needs that they are facing and the challenges they're facing. Given the competing interests in transportation, in early child care, as well as the need for housing, it was important for us to advance a dollar amount along with the project area, the areas of program areas that needed to receive the fundings, as well as continue in the conversation in conference. So, as listed in the agenda, you'll see that 4 components are the rental housing for lower income working families, home ownership opportunities and rental housing for working families, housing for farm workers and their families, and housing assistance and production for homeless individuals and families. And these 4 areas combined have at least about 11 programs that we're looking at potentially advancing and making sure that there's continued dialogue. So at this point, it was important to appropriate a one-time $650 million funding attached to this proposal, which is half of what was being discussed by the working group. But at least this continues the ability for the budget chair from the Assembly as well as the Speaker to be engaged with the Senate Pro Tem and the budget chair from the Senate side, as well as with the administration, to see how we can advance these issues. And with that, I know, Mr. Mullen, you've been actively engaged. If you'd like to.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just commenting very briefly before we move this item, just want to thank you and your staff for your work on the issue. And as a member of the Assembly Working Group on Housing, want to thank Assemblymember Chu and Thurmond in particular for their leadership in advancing, along with our group, the $1.3 billion proposal. While the $650 falls short of our original ask, if you will, it represents a significant investment of funds to address what is nothing short of a full-blown affordability crisis, not only in the Bay Area and my neck of the woods in San Mateo County, but throughout many areas of the state. So with that, this is the funding side of the equation. There's also a policy side of the equation. The governor has offered his by right housing proposal, which may have merit, but I know is causing some consternation. But we will have that discussion with the administration, and there are a number of other policy proposals on housing that are moving that also have merit. So this will be an ongoing conversation, but pleased to move this item of $650 million investment from the Assembly side for our housing package.
Second.
Thank you. Let's call the roll.
Mr. Chair, if we could have some additional comment on that.
There's a motion and a second. If you can be brief on your comments, please.
I can. Look, I'm really pleased that the committee's decided to take this up. I think it's important that we make sure that California tax law is conforming to federal law, especially as it relates to our homeowners that have this phantom income issue. These are people that have lost their homes, and all of a sudden they have a very large tax bill from the state of California. We are talking about the budget years going forward. There is still the issue of the people that were negatively impacted on this before. So first, I guess there's 2 things. First, I'm very pleased to see it in our current proposal that we're voting on right now. Unfortunately, I won't be able to vote for this proposal, although I'm pleased to see that it's in the proposal. And here's the reason why. The proposal we're voting on right now is for $650 million. According to even conservative estimates, the FTB thinks that this mortgage debt relief for these homeowners that were impacted is about $100 million or less. The Banking Association puts it at less than $75 million. So if we're taking a look at a $100 fix that's needed to conform to federal law, yet we're spending $650 million, and in the process creating 2 brand new programs, to me it looks like we're kind of overshooting that mark. Ideally, we would separate this out as a separate issue, as a standalone issue on its own, take care of it, and then address, the other programs. So, especially the need for creating brand new programs and brand new state spending. So, I won't be able to support this particular measure today, but I hope that through the conference process, it can be sussed out and it can be taken a look at as a standalone issue to conform with federal regulations, to conform with federal tax law. And the other programs that are kind of being added on to its back can be evaluated on their own merits.
Okay. So motion and a second.
Nazarian?
Aye.
Allen?
No.
Cooper?
Aye.
Mullen?
Aye.
Wilk?
No.
Great. Moving on to items to be heard. Issue number 1 is the Sacramento Region State Office Infrastructure Plan. We had discussed this topic. If you can just keep it very brief, we'll move right along. Thank you.
Yeah, Phil Osborne from the Department of Finance. Chair and members, we really appreciate the work that you and your staff have done to move this forward and the commitment you've shown to the governor's proposal. And while we recognize that this is not the governor's proposal, we look forward to working with you and the Senate in conference.
Great. Any comment?
Brian Brown with the LAO. We've made our comments on the governor's proposal in previous hearings. We're happy to work with the committee staff and the members as this moves through conference.
Great. I think this is a very prudent move. I think this allows us to be able to maintain cash funds in a reserve basis and be able to be progressively looking at the projects ahead of time and also potentially make the appropriate investments that will allow us, while making those investments, to save money in the long term as well. So I think this is a very meaningful project, and I look forward to both leaders of the House also to work collaboratively with the governor and oversee this program into the future. So with that, is there a motion to adopt the Assembly Funding Plan?
Nazarian?
Aye.
Allen?
No.
Cooper?
Aye.
Mullen? Wilk?
No.
Is there any public comments on that item? Just for the record? No? Good. Moving on. State Board of Equalization. I think we're going to be having only one item that we're going to be hearing. So there are 2 issues that we're going to be hearing, but one we're only going to be hearing from the BOE staff. Please start.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Edna Murphy, Admin Deputy for Board of Equalization. The Board of Equalization is requesting $17.5 million and 43.1 positions in fiscal year 16-17 and $15.3 million and 44.6 positions in fiscal year 17-18 to enable the CROSS project to transition from its procurement phase to its implementation phase. In addition, provisional language is requested, allowing access to $5 million for a contract payment if needed. The CROSS project is an information technology modernization effort designed to expand tax and fee payer service, improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the board's operation, and enhance its ability to generate increased revenue, reducing the tax gap. In your agenda, you recommended that additional oversight be provided by the Department of Technology and the Department of Finance. The BOE has worked very collaboratively in these relationships with both the departments to ensure that we have a competitive process, and the BOE has greatly benefited from these relationships, and we look forward to that continued interaction as we move from the procurement to the implementation of this project. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
LAO?
Jason Cisney, LAO. The staff recommendation, which we're comfortable with, is to approve as budgeted and require additional project oversight by the Department of Technology and the Department of Finance. This is a very large project, and so both houses are looking at ways to strengthen legislative oversight, and that seems appropriate.
Finance?
Damian Mimnow with the Department of Finance. We have no concerns with the staff recommendations.
Okay. Public hearing? Any comments from the public? Any comments from the members? Is there a motion to approve as budgeted and require additional project oversight by the Department of Technology and the Department of Finance? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Nazarian.
Aye.
Allen.
Aye.
Cooper.
Aye.
Mullen.
Aye.
Wilk.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Issue number 3, the Assembly Action Plan for the Board of Equalization. This has been something that I think everyone here is aware of the ongoing conversation and some of the debate that's taken place. During our last hearing, some answers, what I would have expected to be basic answers, were not being provided. And it took quite a long time until we were able to get to a conclusion on just a few matters. And so working with the budget staff, several different items came up, some that we took action on, primarily the first one, the freezing of the vacant positions at the BOE, which was at 478. And since some other items have also been put into place for a vote, primarily the vacant positions, the office space for the BOE members, as well as outreach and public relations, all of which were discussed at a previous hearing. At this point, I'm ready and willing to move forward with entertaining a motion on these items. I do, however, given some conversations, would like to move forward without the placeholder trailer bill language for the trial de novo. That said, it's important to point out that it's difficult for me as an elected member to see how it would be appropriate to have a tax agency whose leadership has been selected to have oversight over a elected group of individuals. And while in concept, that doesn't really fit well, and I think many of my colleagues had concerns over that issue, what's very important to take away from this is that some of the action of the board has forced us to start taking some issues into consideration, to the point where we were even debating whether or not to have a selected group of individuals, a agency, have oversight over elected members. I hope that serves as enough of a message to the Board of Equalization to ensure that we can have a collaborative working relationship moving forward and having the appropriate responses to the questions we have, as well as there being even self-regulated changes coming about from this. I look forward to welcoming those ideas from them. Unless if there are any other comments from any of my colleagues, I'm happy to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
We would just like to point out that Finance cannot support a reduction at this time as recommended, but we would note that the proposed audits and monthly reporting would better inform future decisions by the legislature and Finance.
Mr. Wilk?
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate you pulling out the FTB proposal separately. However, I'm still not going to be able to support this motion today. I just don't see where there's going to be any real cost savings, and then I'm really concerned about inconvenience for my constituents. They have 21 field offices right now, and there's a reason for that. It's to make collections easier. I know recently the BOE opened up an office in Santa Clarita. I'm assuming that one would probably be shut down, forcing my constituents to struggle all the way down to Van Nuys. So I'm just, again, I appreciate you pulling out the other one so we can deal with that separately, because but I'm just not going to be able to support this proposal as it's currently laid out.
Mr. Chair. Yeah, I just like to echo the comments of my fellow assembly member, which is, I think you've removed the most onerous part of this, and it should have been removed. It shouldn't have been there in the first place for exactly the reasons that you articulated. However, I guess I'm not fully there on the reductions, so I will be no today. But I would like to say thank you very much to the chair for having the wisdom to pull the de novo provision.
Okay. With that, is there a motion to approve as budgeted? I'm sorry. Is there a motion to approve the Assembly Action Plan for the Board of Equalization without the placeholder trailer bill language for the trial de novo?
Nazarian?
Aye.
Allen? Cooper? Mullen? Wilk?
No.
Great. Moving on to issue number 5, Seismic Safety Revolving Loan Program, appropriation and trailer bill language. This proposal would create and fund a program to assist residential property owners and business owners in seismically retrofitting residences and small businesses. If you want to keep it very brief.
Sir, Executive Director of the California Pollution Control Financing Authority, we would be happy to implement this program in line with our CalCap programs that we've offered as a credit enhancement to lenders making loans to small businesses, and we would be ready, willing, and able to implement this.
Great. LAO or Finance?
Mary Halterman, Department of Finance. This is a new proposal, and we haven't had a chance to review the details of it. However, we currently do not support additional general fund expenditures.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Okay.
Second.
Great. Any public comment?
Mr. Chairman and members, Andrew Antwi here on behalf of Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti and the City of Los Angeles. We very much support this proposal. In Los Angeles, the council members and the mayor have taken action to adopt an ordinance that requires property owners to take responsibility for making retrofits of their property. We're talking residential and commercial. We think this is a self-help measure that the city has taken, and the size and the scale of the problem would be very, very difficult for any community to respond to alone. And the idea is to get ahead of the problem, because we know once the catastrophic event takes place, we're in triage mode at that point. But if we can take early measures to actually set up a process where we can incentivize early repairs, and in some cases very cost-effective repairs. In the case of soft-story buildings, and many of those buildings are affordable units, especially in Los Angeles, and we know when they fall down, if they get built back up, they don't get built back up as affordable units. So in many cases, this kind of smart action could be a way to preserve affordable housing. That's the way we see it in Los Angeles. We've taken great measures to examine our risk exposure. And it goes beyond residential and commercial properties into key pieces of infrastructure throughout the city. We've got a resiliency plan in the city of Los Angeles, so we very much support this action. We want to be a partner with the state in making sure all of our assets are made as strong as possible to sustain a seismic event.
Great. There's a motion and a second.
Nazarian?
Aye.
Allen?
No.
Cooper? Aye. Mullen? Aye. Wilk?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, issue number 6, Brace and Bolt Program. Is there anyone here? Good afternoon. If you can just be very brief.
Good afternoon, Chair Nazarian, committee members. My name is Erica Spurbeck. I'm the Deputy for Administration and Licensing Services at the department. As we've previously testified before you, earthquake protection for Californians is among Insurance Commissioner Dave Jones' highest priorities, and he very much appreciates the Chair's leadership in this important area. As you know, the 2015-16 budget included $3 million general fund for the department and the California Earthquake Authority to expand the Brace and Bolt program. We continue to be supportive of efforts to dedicate additional general fund resources to this program. Our Deputy for Community Programs and Policy Initiatives and Commissioner Jones' representative on the California Earthquake Authority's governing board, Chris Schultz, is here to provide you an update if you would like and answer any questions.
LAO and Finance?
Mr. Chair, Finance is opposed. It's not part of the administration's fiscal plan, so thank you.
Okay. Questions from the members?
Second.
Thank you. Any public comments?
Mr. Chair, members, Andrew Antwi, City of Los Angeles, see earlier remarks. This program, the only thing to say about this program is we wish it had a wider reach for the properties within the City of Los Angeles. We wish there were more zip codes to the extent that more resources are brought to bear to make the program more available. We very much support that. And we do think residential properties and some multiple unit properties now are eligible. We think that it's going in a good direction, and we'd like to see more of this. And to the fiscal issues, if things fall down and we can't build them up, this is going to be seen as a very, very cost-effective investment. So we support.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second.
Nazarian?
Aye.
Allen? Aye. Cooper? Aye. Mullen? Aye. Wilk?
Aye.
Thank you. As for the next item, issue number 7, funding for the California African American Museum. I don't think there's anyone here for that. The subcommittee may wish to consider providing a one-time funding of $2 million for the California African American Museum to preserve and digitize museum assets, assist the museum in becoming accredited with the American Museum Association, and for deferred maintenance and infrastructure projects.
Second.
Thank you.
Nazarian?
Aye.
Allen? Aye. Cooper?
Aye.
Mullen? Aye. Wilk?
Aye.
Okay. Last but not least, Governor's Office of Economic Development, issue number 8, statewide bonding assistance. If you'd like to make very brief comments.
Afternoon, Chair and members. Andrew Sternfels, Deputy Director for Legislative Affairs with GoBiz. We do not have a position on the bill, but we're happy to answer any technical questions you have on the iBank and the Small Business Finance Center.
LAO?
Nothing to add.
Finance?
Tamara Johnson, Department of Finance. We'd like to note that this proposal is inconsistent with the governor's proposed budget. And with that, this is a new proposal that we haven't had the opportunity to fully absorb and to analyze what impacts this would have on the departments.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Mr. Will?
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like, if he's amenable, I'd like to amend that motion.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes. Okay, so I'd like to make the following motion. Approve one-time funding of $10 million for the statewide bonding assistance program under iBank and adopt placeholder trailer bill language, including the governor's May revision on the advanced strategic aircraft tax credit trailer bill language.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Nazarian?
Any questions or comments? Aye.
Allen?
Aye.
Cooper?
Aye.
Mullen? Wilk?
Aye.
Okay.
Quick.
Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.